Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. Where do I get to use my jokers? So I'm going to just build a basic kind of mahjong hand, and then we're going to talk about where you're allowed to use the jokers. Going to use 1 bams. Remember that 1 bam is a bird. 2 bams. 3 cracks. And 4 cracks. So I'm using 2 suits here. Now there's a term, or there are 2 terms in mahjong that you need to know. Pung, P-U-N-G, and a pung is 3 of a kind. So here I have a pung of 1 bams, and I have a pung of 2 bams, because there are 3 tiles and they are identical. I have a kong, K-O-N-G, that's 4 identical tiles of 3 cracks, and a kong of 4 cracks. You are allowed to use jokers for pungs, 3 of a kind, kongs, 4 of a kind, and quints, 5 of a kind. You are never allowed to use jokers to finish singles or pairs, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So, I could, if I wanted to, put a joker there. And that is a correctly formed hand of mahjong. 14 total tiles. I could also do this, if I had that many jokers. Very nice. Remember, there are only 8 jokers in the whole set. I could even, if I wanted to, substitute jokers for the entire set. If you can substitute for one, you can substitute for all. So this is also a correctly formed hand of mahjong. If I'm lucky enough to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 8 jokers in the set, it doesn't happen very often, but it is conceivable. So if you can substitute for one, you can substitute for all. Now let's talk about when you're not allowed to use jokers. You're not allowed to use jokers to help you finish a pair or a single. So let's take a look and see what would a single or a pair look like. Well, let's go with the easiest thing, which is 2020, which is our current year. It uses a pair of 2s and a pair of soaps. I cannot use a joker to finish 2020 because I only have 2 bams, or 2 of the 2s, because it could also be 2 cracks or 2 dots, and I only have 2 of the soaps, so you can't use a joker for it. Even though it's a set of 4, right? There are 4 tiles here pushed together as a set, but they're not a kong. A kong is 4 identical tiles. A pung is 3 identical, 3 exactly the same. So there's a difference between a pung and a kong and a set of tiles. This is a set of 4 tiles smushed together, but when you examine it, it has a pair of 2s and a pair of soaps. So you can't use a joker, ever, even for mahjong. So that's one way that you can make 2020 this year. Here's another way. Right? And I'm going to have to take 2 of the soaps and move them, because you can also make it that way. So there are 3 ways. All right? Let's take a look at a single. If you needed something like this, in the hand. That is 4 tiles all put together. It's also 4 tiles that are in the same suit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. But it is not a Kong. It's not a Kong because they aren't the exact same tile. It's just 4 tiles pushed together. It's a set of 4. It's not a Kong. And so how many 2s do you have in that set? You've only got 1. How many 4s? You've only got 1. You've only got 1 6. You've only got 1 8. So you cannot use jokers there. All right. So that's one of my favorite topics because I love to know where I get to use my wild cards. Have a great day and enjoy playing Mah Jongg.